It's a big week to be a millennial, I think.
The Dan York State of Mind program is brought to you in part by Lookout Rhode Island and Takeo Comfort Solutions.
That would be millennial. Millennial, tomato, tomato. If you're speaking fast, what's the difference? Welcome in. Nice to have you aboard this evening. It is Monday. Giants better win tonight. If it's 7:30, you know I'm still anticipating. If it's midnight, I probably look good. You know, I lost a bunch of money on the golf course. Then I got a little bit of money, you know, the other day. And my friend and opponent said to me, you know what? I'll knock it down by a third if you can tell me the Giants stink. And I said, can you give me a week? Because I'll tell you, last week was not good, not good. You know, Patriots Nation is feeling nice and comfortable about resetting the stage this past weekend. It is a pleasure to have you hanging around. A little goofy, a little warm in the studio today, so anything could happen. I think I broke a rib sneezing, so it might be a little ornery. And you know, the millennials make me smile sometimes, except if you got to work with them. Then it's, you know, then it's a day-to-day type situation. But it's a big week for the millennials. We're going to get into it this way, by the way. Here's something that Mr. Bromberg, the owner of Benny's, said to the newsmakers crowd about the announced closing.
It was not a hard decision because it's based on the facts and numbers, and you just arrive at things logically. The difficult part of the decision is the effect it has on people. I knew it would be big, but it was much bigger than I thought. But then you think about it, it's Rhode Island, and Rhode Islanders are funny, and southeastern Mass, Connecticut too. They stick to things that are near and dear to them. Yeah,
or maybe just the geezers, because according to this headline, it's like, oh well, you know, what are you going to do? Millennials drive the demise of Benny's. Interesting conversation in the Providence Journal. Not the thrust of our show by any stretch of the imagination, but we'll see if our guests tonight take responsibility for the closure of this historic business. Do you, Sarah? Do you? Don't. Is it your fault?
No, it's not my fault.
When's the last time you shopped at Benny's?
Yesterday.
Well, you're lying.
I buy windshield wipers at Benny's.
There's no possible way that's true. No, did you?
In Bristol, Rhode Island,
Because you felt bad after seeing the article was today, right? So
I go there all of the time.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. I don't know about that. Aiyah, really?
We love Benny's. Put it out there. We love Benny's. We're sad to see Benny's go, and we're here to figure out how to keep businesses like Benny's here.
Okay, well, there you go. There you go. Aiyah is the executive director of Millennial Rhode Island, which is a volunteer social business group type of thing.
Yeah, it's volunteer. We're a generational network, but we're really here to inspire millennials to come to Rhode Island, if you're here in Rhode Island, to stay in Rhode Island, and to inspire other generations to come on over. You know, let us win you over a little bit. We're not bad. We're good to work with. We're great to be around, and we're really here to make this state great.
Well, I'll determine whether you're good to work with. and Sarah, you're the communications person for the group?
On the board, yeah.
All right, so you're having a big week,
yeah,
right? So throw the chart up there, Kev, if you get a chance. I mean, this is, we'll throw it up a few times. I guess there's all sorts of things happening this week in a theme called Choose Rhode Island. Yes. Monday, millennial, like today, tonight, whatever. Yeah. You got something going on now. What does that say? My glasses aren't working.
Millennial Monday.
06? 06? What does that mean? What do the numbers
mean?
That's
the sixth Millennial Monday we've had as part of this series, titled Generation Y. It's play on Generation Y, the next coming. It's funny. We're funny. But it also talks about why, like.
Listen, if you say you're funny, then I'll roll with that. I mean, it's just well, I can't. You know what, Lexi? We should have had a chart of all the generations. I don't. Who are you guys? I think I have one.
Well, so in the scheme of generation,
I think I spawned one.
If your child was born between 1979 and 2000, they just might be a millennial.
Okay, got it. So it's 79 to 2000.
Yeah. And
after that's a long spread.
It's a pretty wide gap, and it still is up for interpretation. If you're born in like maybe 75, but you had a computer at a young age, you might be millennial-esque. If you're born esque, you know.
We have a lot of esques involved in the group.
Esques. But then the next group is what, the I generation?
I think it's to be named. I think they've gone by generation
because of
Y.
iPhone and all that kind of thing.
They're
right?
playing with a lot of things. They once called them like Times called them the founders because they were going to be the generation that grew up on iPhones and technology, and they were going to kind of be the founders of the next kind of generation or the next where society goes. But that didn't really stick. So I think it's still like, to be
I'm
determined.
not quite sure.
Why do you guys identify yourselves? I don't remember walking around. I don't know when they called me a baby boomer, but I'm guessing it was pretty much when I was younger. I mean, I'm 61, 1961, not 61. 1961, and I'm on the side, the old side of the boomers. You know, there's the greatest generation, of course, that we all agree. Tom Brokaw wrote about it. My parents are in between those. I don't know what we call them. What do we call my parents? I'm not sure.
There's a silent generation, and before that, there's the lost generation.
What year is that?
The lost generation is like right before or right around 1900.
Oh, jeez.
So maybe the one right
Yeah,
after that
I
is
was the
silent.
executive
Yeah, and you
director
track-
and the
Well, you want to go back to
generation chair.
Lincoln and Washington, for
Yeah,
heaven's sake?
so
here?
they may be silent or I believe great.
Why?
But that's why you don't hear from
But
them.
I don't ever really remember, prior to you guys, naming in the current phase of existence the generation for purposes of identification. And right?
Yeah.
What's
so
going on?
I feel
because
so,
you're a bunch of narcissists. That's
well,
why.
here's
and you need to identify yourselves. And you, right?
This is the point, right? Everyone needs.
Again, I gave birth to one, so I'm just, no, I didn't. My wife did. But
some place to point and someone to kind of take the blame for all the problems in the world. And at some point, someone decided that, you know what, it's this generation. So we actually didn't start saying, hey, we're millennials and we're here. People started saying, hey, you're millennials and you're ruining everything. And they still are, and that's fine. And now we're responding to that by saying, hey, we're actually trying to do a little bit more. We're actually trying to respond to the fact that you think we're killing this and killing that by saving this or that or by making this or that relevant. And so I think we were just brought into the conversation from a negative standpoint, and now this organization is pushing to try and change that perception.
You agree with that?
I mean, you can Google what we're killing, and it is just endless lists of every industry we're killing. We're killing the running industry. We're killing the napkin industry.
We're killing sex, apparently. We're killing McDonald's,
Buffalo
apparently.
Wild Wings, all the things. We're killing everything, apparently.
Yeah.
But we're also saving a lot.
Right. We are saving a lot in various industries. Apparently, we are.
Well, let's go down the list. We're killing the running industry. How?
Yeah, apparently. We're moving away from less competitive sports, and we're interested in gyms, which have more inclusive environments. This is what I'm reading.
Right.
We're
Well,
keeping
do you
the
run?
gym. I do run.
Okay, so you're not to blame. Do you run?
Yeah, I run to and from my car.
Yeah, you don't run. You don't run. Well, from a sports point of view, there is a lot of discussion, because I read about it all the time in the broadcast business, you know, the investments in things like the National Football League and you know, both on the radio and television side, the contracts run for 10, 15, 20 years, and there's always this worry that concussion aside, that, you know, Major League Baseball, football, hockey, basketball are all going to get clipped by this millennial generation that's not that interested in the team sport thing. It's all about, you know, the X Games and even things that you just do on your own physically. Is that true? I mean, do you go to the Patriots or Celtics games? Or?
So I do participate.
Are you a sports guy? You don't have to be.
I'm not a sports guy.
Okay.
All right, but I am, and I think a lot of our generation is about the experience. I don't know if your young millennials might be on Snapchat, it might be on Instagram, and so sometimes you go for the experience to be able to record yourself.
Which is just it is. It's a disease.
But it is saving the live entertainment industry. So the characters or the artists that maybe you fell in love with and you're the reason why they're big now, you probably, now that you broke a rib and whatnot, probably not going to their concert anytime soon. But I'm sure there's a bunch of millennials
That's not an official diagnosis, by the way. I just sneezed. But someone
leaning
just
a
tuned
little
in and went, oh
here.
my God, York broke a rib. Hey, honey, did you hear that? Yeah, Maxwell broke a rib.
But the point is,
whatever.
we're going to these concerts, we're going to these shows, we're going to these events, and we're keeping them popular and keeping them relevant because we enjoy those experiences. And so I think
wait a second. You go like this,
Yep.
and you're saving a show?
Right, because we're able to put that onto a screen and we're able to put that on the internet. That's able to go viral.
Because of the marketing where you are.
Where we are, and we're able to tag, hey, this is at Gillette Stadium, hey, this is this particular artist, hey, this video of them doing this one thing now goes viral and is shared all over the internet, and now this artist who people haven't spoke about for a long time is relevant again. Maybe they'll go on VH1 and make a show that you'll really hate, but they're
So what
happy
you're
to
telling
have
me is that the
success.
whole exercise is altruistic. It's not narcissistic.
I think it's not necessarily about social media. I think it's more about we desire an experience and we're willing to place value over, buying into an experience over a commercial product.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, we value experiences more than, holding the brand new shiny object.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of data out there that show, we put our money into experiences versus products.
Yeah, the data also shows you don't put your money in many places. That you're all cheap.
Well, we're not cheap, we're
We'll talk
broke.
about that.
There's a big difference.
Oh, well, there you go. Cheap or broke when we come back. Stay with us.
It's a sexy topic for a lot of journalists to write about, do research on. And yeah, I believe, specifically in the work in Rhode Island, that millennials, retaining a great number of them in Rhode Island, is going to be it's going to take Rhode Island from the bottom of America's business climate.
Yeah. Okay. What is that, a show you do?
Well,
That's Travis Escobar, who I've had on. He's another one of your cheeses in this organization,
cheeses.
right?
We call him board chair, but cheeses works
Yeah,
as
he's
well.
he's a sharp young guy, also
he
a
is.
troublemaker. So when he comes here, he always picks a fight with me. So how come he didn't show up? Well, that's your job tonight.
Well, we share responsibilities now, so we can both do our full-time jobs.
What is that little show you got there?
So that was Clusery TV, which was started by a friend of ours who was trying to get a web series going on, but ended up not working out. We're a big startup, generation, so we love starting things, trying things, putting it out there, and sometimes it doesn't always work.
So cheap or broke? The millennial.
We're broke.
Yeah. What is it? We're 20%?
College, yeah, we're making 20% less than our parents did at this age, and college is 4 times more expensive. So, there's a lot of challenges.
You're making 20% less than your parents did at the age that you.
That's correct. Our salaries are 20%
Where's that
less.
data?
That-
I've been. Where's that from? Or did you just throw that out there?
No, I'm not throwing that out there. I have a lot of data I can send you.
Yeah.
But the student loan crisis is...
That I get.
It's huge.
Right.
And we're really trying, our board, our group is really trying to work on that issue. It's huge for our generation here, and it's holding people back.
What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, I think one of the things is, acknowledging that we're at a place where we don't have the buying power that, maybe previous generations have. We are just as interested in keeping these places here, and it's about how do we find that middle ground. So we would love to reach out to businesses and those that, are local, those that have values that identify with exactly what millennials are about, and figure out how we can continue to support these industries so they're there. I mean, we love your show, right? We may not all watch it, but we think it's important that it's here. So we want to make sure, in that millennials don't always watch TV. We wait for the clips to come out.
No, listen, I get it. Though. There's this gaping hole in the broadcast and cable world, freaking out, wondering if you guys are going to come late,
right,
or not come at all, because, and reportedly, you have been, not only are you making 20% less money, which we're going to check on. That's a fascinating conversation, Lex. But I think we're also pretty much have it figured out that you want things fast, that you want things in shorter bites and snippets, that you're all about texting and Instagram, 10-second videos and all that kind of stuff, and you don't have a long attention span.
I don't know the data behind our attention span being shorter.
But we see that reportedly in the broadcast research that, you know, you want to move from this and this, you want it on demand, you want it when you can get it, you want it quick, you want it short, you want it concise, you don't want to go deep, and that's a concern.
So that's, I think, one of the most common misconceptions about millennials. It's not that we only want it fast. It's that having it fast is actually helpful. You want it fast as well. There's not a difference in how much our generation appreciates getting things quicker versus others. You want that wrench to fit that chair today. We want it too. You're not.
We had to change a chair during the break.
You're not. I
know you'd get that
where
out.
you prefer to wait 3 to 5 days. You want it just as much as we want it. But we, through technology, have become more comfortable with being able to get these things quicker. But we still will sit down and watch that full-length documentary. We still go to the movies. I was at a drive-in theater yesterday.
Okay.
We still want those
I think
things.
that's fair. Of course, we want it fast. We want service fast. I mean, and even, you know, this generation helped the demise of Benny's because you know, I can get on this phone right now and order something on Amazon and have it tomorrow. I mean, those things are multi-generational. But it does seem like you guys are moving fast, and I'm not so sure that America itself, but your generation specifically, digs deep on a lot of topical type of stuff. So, you know, I don't know.
And I think that correlation is an interesting one. But I mean, like, if you look at past generations, no one said, you know, when the T model came out, hey, whatever generation it was, maybe the lost generation, you guys are killing the horse and buggy. And, you know, maybe they did say that, right? But at the end of the day, the reality was we needed to move forward in that way. We needed those advances, and those advances help advance us as a society.
Well, you know,
we're not saying that.
That's fair. And listen, I think it's fun to poke fun, but there's nothing constructive about sitting here and whipping up on millennials. I mean, you're the next generation.
Thank you.
I'm worried about your leadership skills. See, here's what happens. People like you are multi-generational because you are here. You care, you can look me in the eye, you're looking me in the eye the entire time. Most of your friends don't.
Okay.
I don't think that's a true statement.
Oh, come on now. You're going to sit here and you're going to wantonly defend the generation and not notice the trends
Dan, every
of being
time we
in
come
phones.
here, we have this conversation
But
where
it's
you
true.
go, you know what, my producer is a millennial, she's great. My children, they're millennials, they're great.
Because
but all the millennials I don't know, they suck.
No. Plenty of millennials that I know. I'm not going to say they suck. You did. No, they're not a listen. This is not a communicative generation.
So
this is a tablet, phone, digital, finger generated communication generation. You're not going to admit that?
I think what we're really focused on is developing the skills that businesses need in Rhode Island. So we were created because of a void. There was no organization really supporting our generation, education opportunities, you know, being at the table to represent our voice. And so that's really what we're doing. It's giving, you know, PD opportunities to everyone. You know, we have lawyers involved, teachers involved, across
PD,
the
professional
board.
development?
Professional development,
See, I get on it.
you know, interesting networking events that aren't just your typical after work, you know, suit and tie events. We have people from all walks of life, really eclectic group comes together, and you meet people who you might never have access to. I mean, we have everyone from business leaders who are, you know, taking a risk, making a startup, to someone who, you know, is still in college, and we're connecting them, we're giving them access to skills training, and we're giving them, you know, an outlet to talk about what's important to them.
And millennial leadership. I mean, the Treasurer of Seth Magazine are one of our strongest supporters at every one of our events, showing us, talking to us about what it means to be a millennial young person. Mayor James Yosa, also someone who's willing to come to our events and show us, hey, I'm in a leadership position and this is how I got here. And we acknowledge, we are growing up on that digital, you know, interfaces, and that's a lot of our experience. But every generation has its own problems. Every generation has had its own learning curves, and maybe ours might be in communication, but we're working hard to be able to do better with that, and our organization is here to help support the training and the showing of other millennials how to get there. So we acknowledge our shortcomings, we definitely do, and we're here to say we want to kind of bridge those gaps.
I think that was a beautiful moment. When we come back, I'll tell you what's going on this week, because it's a big week for this group. Stay with us. We're checking on that data that Ms. Dell told us, that she's making 20% less money than her parents did at this time for the same gig. Is that what it says, Lex?
It's analysis of Federal Reserve data by Young Invincibles.
Well, we'll have to. That deserves
that
3
further.
shows. I mean, that's not something we can tackle here in 10 seconds. Kev, post that agenda again, if you would. Let's see what's going on. Tell me. I'll run it down real quick.
Yes. So Millennial Monday is our staple event.
You want the parents watching this show, mostly, to tell their millennials about all these things going on, correct, right?
Parents can come too. This is intergenerational. We want to have these conversations about things that are important and of interest to millennials, but everyone has a say in this and everyone has a perspective, so we want them there. So Monday, we're doing our Millennial Monday at Aurora, where we're going to have 3 very talented, very inspirational millennials talking about their experiences and why they do what they do. Erlen Rogel, Marcella Bentacore, Terry, and Alex, who are all individuals who are doing great things and are here to talk to us. Tuesday, we're having an arcade social. I believe that's at the arcade bar, and that's just also pointing light to this place. That's an arcade and bar, a great place to kind of
owned by a millennial
to come together. Thursday, we're also doing the Hungry Fridays volunteer event. So that's a great initiative by a board member of ours who is every Friday out at Kennedy Plaza handing foods out to homeless folks. And so we're having an opportunity on Thursday to put those lunches together, and then an opportunity on Friday to actually deliver those. Right. Friday, we have a skate party. And
is that roller skates?
Roller skates, rollerblades, yeah.
Wow.
So, we know that was a big thing in the 80s and 70s, right? I'm sure you were out there disco.
It wasn't real big on the roller skates.
Okay, wait, show that photo. We have a Dan.
You know what? Part of combating the brain drain is really, it's not just about giving us jobs or giving us affordable places to live. We have to be able to have a life here and have fun here. And so our
Do you want to be here in Rhode Island?
Do I want to be here?
Do you want to be here?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because it's the best state to live.
Why?
Because it has the most eclectic mix of everything. I mean, you can be at the beach in the city in 20 minutes.
You feel like there's a jobs need, though?
Absolutely.
I mean,
are you trained up enough to fill the jobs? There's all this high-tech world out there reportedly that we have a jobs gap here, a skills gap.
Right. And I'm going to temporarily put on my
hat you work for labor.
At the Department of Labor and say that there is a skills gap. And that's a real thing, and I do believe the current administration is doing a lot to try and address that, and I do think my department and the Real Jobs program is doing a lot to address that, and I think we, as the Millennial Rhode Island group, are doing a lot to bring that talent here. And when that training program and when those jobs are set up and saying, hey, we're looking for the most talented person for that position, we're able to say, I know 7 people who would do that role really well. And I think that's on our side to kind of get together, and what we're trying to do as an organization is make sure that we are connected to every single millennial who's in Rhode Island, who's trying to do something in Rhode Island and wants to stay here. And we're able to say, if you want to have fun, this is where you can go. If you want a better job, this is where you can go. If you want affordable housing, this is where you go. And we just want to be that connector. And so we're working really hard to get that word out. That's what we're doing and trying to effectively do it.
Well, I think it's really constructive. You guys should be more of a presence on the program on these specific topics, and we should expand them because I think it's good stuff. Good luck this week.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate having you.
Hope to see you there too.
Yeah.
Where are your kids?
You got a screwdriver? You fix this?
I'll go over to Benny's and get one.
Really quick.
Be right back. Important show tomorrow night. We'll tell you next. I don't know what we're calling the new generation forgotten when it comes to school buildings and the ability to learn. There's a $2.2 billion price tag that is being bandied around for our school buildings. Tim Duffy, who heads up the School Committees Association here in Rhode Island, will join us tomorrow to talk about that. We'll see you on the radio at 3 on WPRO. Thanks for watching. Good night.